So I'm Jeff. I'm with IDX Broker's sales team. Been here for a little over 7 years. Today we're going to kind of go over IDX Broker with WordPress plugin. I'm going to kind of stay mainly within the core things, not really customizing anything, just a general usage of our WordPress plugin. To get started, we have our own WordPress plugin. It is called Impress for IDX Broker. To find it, you just go to wordpress.org, and it is called Impress for IDX Broker. So you'll search that. It's going to be the top one here. Two different ways of doing that. You can do this within your own IDX Broker dashboard and go download it underneath the plugin section, or come in here and obviously just click on the download inside of this. Once you get the plugin installed, on the back end of your WordPress, it's going to have its own little Impress icon. Click on this. Now this is going to communicate with an IDX Broker dashboard and your WordPress dashboard using Impress Listings plugin. It's all going to be activated with an API key. So this is going to be your dashboard once you get your credentials to start logging in and start working with the individual pages, widgets, listings, leads, everything over here. Click on Home and Access Control. The first tab is going to be our API key. You'll copy this API key, so you don't have to highlight and copy and paste. You can click it. You'll see over in the top right, it's going to copy it to your clipboard. Go back into your Impress for IDX Broker, and you'll simply paste it in here and click on Refresh Plugin Options. Right now, this is communicating everything within this IDX Broker control panel into the WordPress dashboard, and we'll go over that a little bit later. Second thing we're going to be looking at doing is creating the global wrapper. But before that, we kind of want to step back just one quick thing into our IDX Broker dashboard. Before you get full access to your account, you're going to be able to start integrating this into your website. And while the approval process is happening, your MLS is going to be activated. But in order to see it on the front end, it's going to require an access code. So inside here, your access code is going to be available. I don't have a current code because my account is active. It's going to be a 5-digit PIN number typically. And once you add a search page onto the website, your client's going to go there and it's going to say, we need an access PIN in order to see this. So you can have your clients reach out to you and get that, or send them that access PIN before they even get started if you've already started that communication with them. Once they put in that access PIN, they'll be able to see everything just as normal. Create a lead, save searches, save listings, and all that kind of stuff so they can get started. But it kind of gets you moving while that approval process is happening, which can sometimes take up to a week, just depending on how long it takes for the client to get the paperwork back to us to the MLS, and MLS back to us. So there's a 3-step process that can take a little bit of time. Some MLSs do require for the broker to do stuff, so there's extra steps inside that. Everything that you're going to get inside this access code pulls all of your pages, which is going to be on a subdomain, and then the plugin is going to build an HTML wrapper, so it's going to apply your guys' design. Now, one thing to keep in mind that we suggest with all of our clients is to create an account using a custom subdomain. So you kind of want to set this up in the earlier stages of things. So if we go into details, by default, you're going to have your custom domain, default domain as jefftrue.idxbroker.com. We don't have access into your registrar. This is something that you'll set up. This is where your hosting is at, whether it's Bluehost, HostGator, GoDaddy, whatever it is. And you're going to go in here, choose a custom domain, say yes, enter what it's going to be. So you can see this is .jefftrue.com. So I'm going to put whatever this is going to be. I'm going to choose search. Search is a very common one, but it can be search, it can be listings, it can be homes, IDX, whatever you want to use. What you'll do is you'll go into your registrar. You're going to create that CNAME record, which points back to subdomains.idxbroker.com. And it will take a little bit of time to propagate, sometimes up to 48 hours, but typically you'll see it within 1 to 2. So it's not going to be that long very often. Once it is propagated, it is fully ready. You're going to see that it's got a green check mark, meaning that it's good to go. With custom subdomains, you can also still use HTTPS. So all of your SSL certificates, everything will work on that custom subdomain. But also if you choose to keep it on the IDXbroker.com subdomain, completely up to you. My suggestion, switch it over to you. Give all the SEO credits to your root domain for any of your search pages, results pages, details pages, as well as your widgets. All of that gives all the SEO credit to your root domain. Now, if you wanted some help in how to get this done, go to support.idxbroker.com And then all you have to do is type in custom domain, which is actually it's at the very top thing here. So setting up a custom domain. This is going to give you step-by-step instructions, basically what I just explained to you, but now it's going to lay it out a little bit. And if we have some of the popular hostings here, so you can choose yours. So if you choose GoDaddy, it'll filter down. It's going to tell you exactly how to set this up with your DNS, manage your zones, domain manager, and then it's going to tell you that you're going to want to set it up to subdomains. Make sure that S is in there. It is plural, .idxbroker.com. So very simple, very easy to do. If you ever have any questions on what about our solution, always go to support.idxbroker.com. That knowledge base articles is built out very well. There is a lot of information in there. Just start typing in some keywords and you're pretty much going to find almost everything that you're going to need out of that. So once we have that activated, so we've done that, next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a global wrapper. So a global wrapper is going to be where we pull in your header and footer HTML. Kind of in the background, what's going to happen is our system is going to put in a start and stop div tag between your header and footer. In between those two start and stop div tags is going to be your page layout for your search pages, results pages, and details pages. And I'll show you how to get into that one here in just one moment. It's going to be a couple sections down. So very easy to do. You'll come down here, you'll name this page. I just named it my Example Realty, my company, my fake company name, and click update. And then what you could do is just double check. All of this should be set up automatically for you within our WordPress. And so I've got Example Realty. I'm going to click into this. We're just going to go verify where this is being displayed at. So over here on the right-hand side, we should be seeing that this wrapper is going to be apply wrapper to IDX pages. We're going to do globally. So we're going to global wrapper, dynamic wrapper. So anytime you make changes to your home page, navigation menu, change out your color, change out your font, your bar up on top, you change the color of it, anything like that, it's going to apply it to all of those IDX pages. Whenever that navigation is done and you don't have a plugin that's dynamically being done, you can go make changes on your homepage. When they go to your IDX page, that navigation menu is not going to carry it over. With this dynamic wrapper, the way that our system is set up, it's automatically going to do that for you. So make all the changes you want. Once that API refreshes, which it does take a little bit of time, it will get that done for you. If it's something that you make a change on and you need it to be immediately, go back into your initial settings, go up to the top, refresh that plugin, update that wrapper. Just hit both of those buttons. It typically is going to make those changes effective immediately for you. Completely up to you if you have to do that, but it is pretty frequent that that is updated. So let's dive back into the pages real quick. So we were just talking about the pages inside the templates. So designs, website, page templates. And how you access these is here's all of your search pages that comes with the account. You've got a map search page, results page that all comes with it. Here's your homes, your featured open house. All of these pages are all in here, and your details is just a details page. So on the, let's just look at a results page, for example. You come down here to results, and over here on the right-hand side, so you have two edit buttons. You have edit page preferences and edit page layout. This is the inner portion that I was talking about, where you have between the start and stop div tag where you can choose the different templates available. Platinum is going to come with every template that we have available, and all of our new ones are going to be going to Platinum only. So kind of the upgrade when you have this is you're going to get more templates available as we're starting to build these out. We're working on that right now. So Home Atlas is our currently most popular one. It's got the map on the left-hand side and the rows and columns on the right-hand side. If you want to simply activate a different one, click Activate, go refresh your page, and it's going to apply it for you. Keep in mind, if you do have some CSS that has been added to a specific results page, if you change one of these, it may affect it based off of the CSS. So be careful when you do that, making sure that you have CSS done or not done, which you can verify within this. So we're going to step back one more time. We're going to go up to the top here. Lead registration preferences is going to be one of the biggest things that is needing to be done. How often are things done? Completely up to you. You can be as aggressive, you can be as conservative, or you can just leave it alone, let your clients do whatever they want, whenever they want to find out more information, book a schedule, or showing. We're going to look at the sign up page first. So this is going to be the information that you're going to gather. So with Platinum only, you do have the option for social media logins. So when you have the pop-up modal show up, it's going to give your clients the ability to use Facebook or Google on this. You can do CAPTCHA, so that has to verify who they are, just a regular CAPTCHA form. And if you want to enable to block all leads outside of the US, kind of depending on your location, obviously like New York and Florida, parts of California, they need the ones from outside of just the US, Mexico, and Canada for people looking from other countries. Sign up form. The little pop-up modal, by default, you're going to have first name, last name, and email address. You can add any fields to these as you want. You can create as many custom fields to these as you want. Very simple to do, and you can make any of them required. So you can go in and edit the current fields that are here. I want to go edit phone, and I'm going to remove it from being required because I have it set up that way. Save my changes. It's done. If I wanted to rearrange any of these, you can just drag and drop. Very simple. Or we can go add more fields. These can be anything that you want. Let's say, for example, you have you can do a custom one, just general information asking a question. You can do that and put in a typed out field. Another one that is very used quite often is on multiple user accounts. You have several different agents on there. You can actually do an assigned agent. So let's say this pop-up modal comes up and somebody has already been talking with that lead earlier on the phone via text message or a friend of a friend. They say, go to the company website, go select me when you go to create your account. You can do assigned agents. You can make it required, not required again, and it's there. So now when this pops up, any agent that is associated with this specific account, it's now going to assign it to that agent, send them an email, or if the agent is under SMS alerts, they can also do that as well. SMS alerts is another platinum only feature. Click yes, put in your phone number. Once a lead has been captured, they're going to get notified. Moving on to that, you've got managing your leads, the second biggest important. I will jump back this real quick. I do like using lead registration under the global registration rules though. So let's go back over here real quick. So after any number of page views of search page, map search page, results page, details page, or a photo gallery, you can choose any number of page views as to when you want this little pop-up modal to show up. So like right now we have it set up on details pages to have a requested registration, and I'm going to do recurring after 2 page views. So I'm going to go let somebody look at 2 details pages. I'm going to request that registration. Every area is going to be different. Every person I've talked to, kind of the most balanced one is right around that 5. 5 seems to be about that magic number that people like to deal with. However, you can do 2 at one time. I can do a lead registration, requesting it, recurring every 2, but I can go in here and force it on 10. So you can run them simultaneously if you choose. You have the ability to use the default forms. You can put in your own custom forms. You have any option that you want. You can type out your own message. You can add your images to it. You can put your headshot in there, your phone number in there. If you really want to get fancy, you can go create a welcome YouTube video. Go grab that embed script from your YouTube and you can embed it into the HTML section of this. You can have a little pop-up in there so that when this pop-up shows up, your video is going to play welcoming your client, letting them know what they can do, that you're looking forward to working with them. Save your searches. Let's work together. Anything you guys want to do within that, you can add there. This can be changed unlimited amount of times. You can do it 5 times a day. You can do it once a year. Whatever you want to do, you got to find your balance of where you feel you're getting the best lead capture from your clients, whether it's a results page, a details, or photo gallery. Work around, make some changes, figure out what's going to work best for you guys. Inside the message center, I got to remember where I'm at. Messages here, notifications. Sorry, it is in the message center. You can check and see what clients have been receiving emails, if they're opening them, and if they're clicking on properties. Now, there's 2 ways to be able to tell this kind of stuff. So this is going to be your daily one. You as an agent are also going to be receiving emails for all of your clients that received automatic email updates about any lead that has a property matching one of their safe searches. So if we come into mine here, we can kind of go look at the traffic once we get in here to the lead. So here's lead info. So I can go check out this person. So you can see the full traffic history, when they were on your site on a specific page, what the IP address is, what page they're visiting, and the referring URL. Now, if you want to see some of the results pages that they went to, you can click on results, and then you'll be able to kind of break it down and see what they're looking at. So this is between 200 and 800,000 in an area code of maybe 30517. And so now this is a results page. You can kind of see what your clients are looking at within this. And close it down and go back into it. Property updates. This next section here, this is going to tell you if your client that received those emails, if they clicked on one specific property, it's going to display it right here. Keep in mind, these are probably going to be off market because this one was back in November. Looks like it's still here, still active. So you can go see the individual page or property that they were looking at by clicking on it. So it just kind of helps you track and see what everybody's on there. If they have any saved properties, you can check on that. You can actually go save properties for your clients underneath this add, edit, save properties. You will need to know the listing ID number. If it goes off market, the client will be notified via email that it is no longer active. Saved searches, your client can go in and create saved searches, or you can do it for your client as well. So they can go in and put, Eugene, Springfield, Junction City, anything's on a short sale. Frank is interested in RV parking in 2 different zip codes. Somebody's looking at Harris Lane condos, something around a high school. These are all predefined searches within the background. And anytime a new listing comes in and matches anything in these specific saved searches, it will send that notification via email to that client. And again, you as an agent are going to receive a synopsis. Basically, you kind of see an overview of what all leads had received emails. Moving on, we're going to go back into our page templates here. So we have several different page templates that you can do for each of these. So all of your layouts can be done under anything that's got an edit column over here. So for your advanced search, for your basic search, all you have to do is click in this and you can choose the one that's in there. Mobile first is the most popular one. It's the newest design of it where it's got the predictive text and all that kind of stuff. You also have the ability in here to go in here and change some of the preferences on these. So on the preferences, we're going to go to the SEO settings. So you can change the name of the page URL, the page name, meta tag descriptions, or anything on this. You don't really want to maybe change too much on this one. It's not too much. Search setup. This is where you can come in and choose the property default type. So we're starting off at residential. Everything is staying the same on the default. So my default is 200,000 to 1 million. You can change that as on this individual page level, or you can do it on a global section as well. You can select this as a default by newest listings. And then you have your custom city list, custom county list, custom postal zip codes, and then making sure you want to use the advanced search fields, which is where we're going next. If you want to hide any of these or unhide, let's say acres, you want to dump that back in here. You've got this unhide button. It'll dump it back in over here. If you want to hide anything, simply hide it. It's gone away. Next thing we're going to do is advanced search fields and what is available. So we're going to go residential, view your listings or your settings. Every one of them is going to have a default on here. You can go in and change this any format that you want. So you can move any of these across sections, just down, anything you want to do with this arrow over here. We have what's called a quick list. Quick list is going to be where you start typing. It's going to be a predictive text of what's available within there. The list is going to show you everything that's available in it. And it does take a while to propagate because there's a lot in here. And what you can do is you can expand or increase the size of this list. So if you keep clicking this, it'll expand down, or you can shrink it back up. You can also come into this settings of this and set up some defaults or hidden. So if there's stuff you want to hide or keep, you can do that as well. Most commonly done is just the quick list. You can change things over to like yes or no's on certain fields. Not all of them work that way. Radio buttons work very well. There's also the min-max. So when you're dealing with garages, you get from and to ending based off of the number of garage spaces that you have. If there's anything you want to remove out of these, you can do that. So if you want to get rid of street name, we can click on the trash can. It dumps it up over here to the top. Anything that's available within your MLS is going to be over here on the right-hand side. Very simple to go in and add. So if we want to add a condo conversion, click on the plus. It always dumps it up to the top. You don't want it at the top. Let's take and move it down. It might take a couple sections here. I'll just dump it up over here. So you can do that. So very simple. Hardest thing for me to remember every time I do these, when I do like on the phone ones or screen share, make sure you go back and hit save property. Once you do that, go back to that search page, hit refresh. It's going to apply it for you guys. Next thing we're going to dump into is going back in here we're going to go our details page. So our details page has the same thing. You've got the page layouts in here that you can do, and you've also got the preferences as well. Here where you can control the dynamic details URL, so how you want it to display up at the top for SEO. You can add the address, city name, state, zip code, other SEO tags that are available. So the listing ID, address, city, state abbreviation, zip code. You can add all of these in here and rearrange them as much as you want. So this is how your dynamic title text is going to be displayed as it goes across your screen. Completely up to you guys how you want to do that. You can set individual lead registration preferences on these if you want. Personally, I like the global registration because it's easier to change all of them along with it. The only time I suggest doing something on an individual page level is on a community page, area page, subdivision page, property specific page on a saved link, which we'll get into that one a little bit later. Going back to our page templates on our details pages, you can control the advanced search fields of anything that is available. We're going to go back into our MLS, residential. So this is what's going to be displayed on an actual details page of what's currently available. So we'll go let this load. We're coming back into here. So I have my container title. I put it as test. That's obviously not one that's typically in there. These are all your ones that come with everything. So you can see there's a lot of information. If you really want to shrink this down, narrow it down, you probably don't need like condo elevator, condo floor plan. Not everything is loaded into the MLS, which you guys are all very well aware of. However, there's some MLSs that there's a lot of agents and brokers that do very good at making a very detailed description. You can change any of these up. Again, you can do the same thing by dragging, moving these around, and you can also eliminate it. Click the X, it dumps it back over into this section. Anything that's involved in the MLS is over here. Whatever you want to add, you click on it. So if you want to put this one in this field up here, get this thing yellow, click on that side, and we're going to add it over to it, and then we're going to drag it over to this side. So now we have farm and irrigation acres in there. Very simple to do. Let's say you want this whole container moved. Let's drop this container down. Like I said, you have control and the ability to change things up as much as you want. If you want to add a new one, click on add, name your title, do whatever you want. You want to remove any of these, click on the trash can, it's gone. Again, make sure you save your property type layout. Hardest thing for me to remember, even still. Inside your account, you can go create predefined searches. These are called saved links. These are very good with SEO. Saved links are going to be a community page, subdivision page, a specific condo or building name, everything that's within it. It can be around a golf course community. Really narrow down, do a predefined search for your client. So they have a one click going to a results page. And by the way, let me jump back into this one real quick because I forgot to. Here's my test. So here's all my information that you can see that's popped up into these. So this is what we were going back and cleaning up. And then here's your URL for what's being displayed on that SEO. The saved links, what we were talking about. So you've got a couple of different options. You can use pages, or you can do your own pages within IDX or your pages on your own hosted website. I'm going to open up both of these because I'm showing you as an example the two different ones. So predefined searches are going to be very beneficial for you with SEO. When you name these pages, name it how your client might be performing a search within within Google for these communities, subdivision areas, neighborhoods, whatever it might be. So we're looking at Bristol Palm Beach condos. So this is an IDX broker page. So search.jefftrue.com/I. I is an indicator that it is a saved link built within IDX Broker. Bristol Palm Beach condos. That is what I named it. That could be a good search term within there. Had a good question come in. Can we add intro text to paragraphs for these types of pages? That's popping up right here. This is exactly what you can do. This is all good, relevant content. This is all indexable content. Images, go pop in your images. You also have the ability to go in and add YouTube videos. Whatever you want to put in here, you have the ability. You can put in H1 tags, H2 tags, H3 tags. You got your paragraph style. You can pretty much add any information that you want. Now, this saved link is an IDX Broker hosted page. Like I said, we were looking at this earlier. It's going to pull up the map, and it's going to show you where these properties are at on the map. This is on the home atlas, and then you've got the details over here. So once we start clicking on these, we can show which one it is. So you click on it, it's going to show which one these are. It'll scroll over to the right and tell you which property it is. This is called Spiderfy. So basically when you deal with these condos, this is very good for being able to narrow down because this one's going to have a bunch of them in here and it's kind of hard to see what they are within these things. So the Spiderfy and the map pin clustering, very good use for that. Now, if you wanted to, let's say you're coming from another vendor or you've already got this website out that you don't have any IDX feed on there, you're using something from the MLS that's an iframe. Now you want to add something with SEO. You've already built out these pages. You've got great SEO. You've got great indexing. You got clients visiting it. Let's take and add IDX to it. So you can do that with a widget. Very simple to do. You can have all your content. I put the same information, same images. Now I'm adding a widget into this. So we're going to go back into the back end and show you how you can do this. Again, on that URL that we were talking about earlier, now it's on jefftrue.com/mybristol landing page. Change it up a little bit just so we can kind of see it. You have two complete different options. Each individual one of these widgets does give SEO credit indexing to the root domain. So it is still going to your root domain for any widgets that are being displayed on here. So if we go in here, creating a saved link and creating a widget is exactly the same thing. You go to, our widgets here and create new. You're going to see it's the exact same thing. All we're doing is selecting the type of widget and then properties to feature, custom search, and advanced search. Everything right here is going to be the exact same thing as doing it within a saved link. I'm going to go back and do it as a saved link because there's additional information in regards to the question that we had for the custom subheaders. Custom subheaders are very important in my opinion. So we're going to go create a link. This is where we just were under that when we clicked on custom search. This is the exact same page you're going to come across. So we'll do advanced search. Now we're going to choose our area. I'm just going to choose, actually, let's narrow it down a little bit more. So this one's used quite often here. So we're going to go Lane County, Lane Co. So I know that my area is going to pop this up. So this is a very large area because our MLS covers almost the entire state of Oregon on it. So we pop this up. We're going to come down here and we're going to choose, for instance, like the North Gillum area. You can add anything in here. You can do bank owned, you can do short sale, waterfront here. You can add schools. So there's multiple elementary schools that this area is covered in. So you can separate these out even if you choose to. You got a lot of options available. I like to sort it with newest listings. That way, if somebody goes to these saved links, these landing pages, whether it's your own, whether it's an IDX landing page, newest listings to me is a little bit better because you're not going to see that one property that's been sitting there for 6 months because it's a little overpriced. Take the newest listings, let them see what is currently coming out of that market each day if they're coming back to this page. Once you select all of your information on here, we're going to go down to the next step. Then we come in here, we're going to do WordPress webinar. Whatever your page title is, it automatically populates down into your link URL. You can change that. Add it in here. It'll generate it for you. You can add any meta tag descriptions, meta tag keywords. And here's our custom subheader that we were talking about earlier. This is where we saw the images, the H1 tags. So you have all the different font families you can do. The format, we're going to do H1, H2. Then you go back into your regular paragraph. You've got control over that. It's very important to run into those H1, H2 tags when you're titling those. Google will look for that stuff. You also have the HTML section. You can hop in here. If you have more content in here, it's going to show it. Press enter, embed it, update it, and then go back in here and you're going to see a small section where that's at with the code, and then continue to write if you want to. Complete options as much as you want. On saved links, like I talked about earlier, you can actually have specific agents assigned for certain areas, communities, subdivisions, whatever it might be. So if you've got an agent on here, go ahead and select them, and we're going to do save and manage links. Anytime a lead comes into this one specific landing page, it's going to only assign that lead just to myself. So we've got it named here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do preview link. And this is going to generate us our URL. So search.jefftrue.com/I WordPress webinar today. I have 59 results. Oh, here's a good one. Here's our pop-up modal. So now you can see what the lead registration looks like. And here's your Facebook icons and your Google icons. First name, last name, email address, phone number, whatever you want to put in here. And then you can put your own custom text or your video up in this upper section right here. And then we've got the area of all the properties and all the listings right directly within here for you. So it's very good for you. So it's not showing the highest price that's always sitting there. We got $539, $549, $545, $299. So it's kind of bouncing around kind of all over the place for you. So very good option depending on what you guys want to do. My personal opinion, I liked the other one. The custom subheader again is going to be going in this above section. One thing for most MLSs, there is a lot of cities that get added to this. That maybe it's a city that's 4 or 5 hours that you definitely do not want to drive to. You can come in here and select your locations, and you can create your own custom city list. You can either modify the dynamic list and remove things, or you can add and create your own custom city list. On the dynamic list, let's say if you go remove a whole bunch of cities and there's no listing in this one city that's, got population of 500 in there, not many listings go up in there. That city has a listing that shows up 6 months down the road. It's then going to show up within your list. So if you create a custom city list, it's only going to be the cities that you select within this list. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do that. Clicking into these allows you to modify it. So this one here basically is going to Adele, Beatty, Beaver, remove selected, and it's already making those changes for you. So you have options of depending on how you want those to do. You just got to remember if you want to use a dynamic list or you want to do a set in stone list. I'm not going anywhere else but these specific areas. Let's see here. So pretty much covered my entire list that I wanted to go over. I ran a little bit over on time. Sorry about that. It looks like Gretchen has been in the background answering a bunch of questions for you guys. If there's any more questions, if you guys want to go over, I can grab a couple of those for you. I don't want to run too long, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to send in some questions. What widget did you use to show the map on the left-hand side? Okay, that is actually not a widget. That is going to be a results page, and it's going to be a platinum only results page. So that is going to go to designs, website, page templates, and within our results page, we come over here to edit page layout. This is going to be home atlas. That option is available within platinum only. So if you're with light, you've got mobile first that's available. Oh, good question. I forgot to do that one. How do I attach it to the website? That is my bad. Inside the back of it, so let's say we want to add our search pages to our navigation menu. Go appearance, menus. Again, this API is going to refresh. I can't believe I skipped this part over. This is like one of the most important parts. Your pages from your regular website is going to be in here. And then we have IDX pages. So these are all the pages that's going to be pulled over from that section. So we're going to go search, and I'm just going to do search pages, for instance. So I can come in here and grab my advanced search, basic search, map search, and click add to menu. This is very similar to how you would add any other page on your WordPress website. It will drop it down to the very bottom. I'm not going to add them because I already have them over here. So, but you click add to bottom, it moves it around. And then all you do is you just grab these and move them up underneath it. So we have mine. So mine's hovered over property search. So when you come to the website, property search, I have all on pages here. So I'm going to remove advanced back up to the top. Come back in here. So I moved advanced over here, save menu. Now, when this page is refreshed, it may not show up yet because this is my wrapper may not have been updated quite yet. So it's not. So now you'll see here, by that API is going to keep refreshing. Every time you make those changes, it will apply it. But I go back to my home page, it's going to take effect immediately. So advanced search, basic search, map search. Now, as soon as that API does refresh, now it's going to be applying it to that. Now, if you wanted to add widgets to your website, very similar process, a little bit easier. Do widgets. And here's my different widget area. So we've got home, middle, let's see here, home top. What do we have up here? Search by map. So what we can do is any one that I've created that has been pulled over is going to be in here. I don't know what all I have. Looks like they've all gone into inactive. I have not gone in here and created very many widgets inside this. Basically, any widget that you create for any featured community, you can actually just pull and just drag and drop these into these individual locations. And then once you do that on your home page, you've got your map search. This is a platinum only feature. You've got your showcase widget, it looks like here, another showcase widget. I have a slideshow down here. You can basically put widgets anywhere you want. I've got another quick search widget down here. Move these around, put them anywhere you want. Okay, just running back through the questions here, see if I can find any more. How long does it take to change to add to the menu bar? So not very long. So like we were looking at this and it property search hovers over to advanced, it's there. We go over to, I got to close some of these pages down. It might even be effective now. So let's go to basic search to get into one of it. The API does refresh. I want to say it's every couple of minutes. So see if it's been long enough. So it hasn't taken effect yet. So what you can do, pop into the back end of your account. And again, like I said earlier, you can go impress. We'll go refresh the plugin. And I always like to just do both of these just to make sure everything takes effect. I'm going to update my wrapper. And then if we perform a search, get us into a different page. And now advanced search has moved up. So it does take, like I said, it does take a little bit of time. But if you want to do it a little bit faster, you can do that. Great question. Is there a feature that would generate neighborhood reports for lead generation? That is something that we are very close to finalizing. Our market report. So basically you can create a saved search for a specific area, and it's going to have data from that saved search that you create. We'll have more information on that when we do launch. I don't have full details on it. I wish I did because I'm pretty excited about having that coming, but it is about ready to launch here. Just don't have the exact time frame. So when you create a saved search, you have the ability to display the map at the on those results pages. So you have to make sure that results pages maps are enabled. Sometimes they are not enabled. You can also create a landing page on your own and put your own map on those specific landing pages. So like a save link section for communities, neighborhoods, areas. whatever it might be. You can add that as a widget within Platinum, or you can just do it within the IDX Broker saved links. If you do run into the situation where you're not seeing your map, you go to Settings, Global Settings, and then go to Map, and then just do All Results, Map, Page Maps, click Yes. And here you can display maps on results pages and featured, and then save your changes. So if you have a saved link, you're not seeing the map, come in here, make sure that it is enabled, go back and refresh it, and it should populate that map for you. Excellent. So we're at 45 minutes now. Gretchen has crushed every question that looks like it's in there. I tried to address as many as I could here. I wanted to thank everybody for joining us. I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. And if you have any questions, reach out to us, info@idxbroker.com. Our number is 800-421-9668. And then you can follow the prompts to get to our sales staff or our support staff. Thank you guys. Have a great afternoon.